ETL, Azure, Power Apps, and a few other reporting tools also. And I am a certified Microsoft data engineer, along with my data analyst and the SQL developer. And I have been working with this Microsoft tools since 8 years from now. I started my career with Microsoft tools and along with the Oracle. But slowly I moved completely into the Microsoft alone. Now Microsoft Stack is my main tool which I am working on, along with Microsoft Fabric, then Azure Data Factory, Databricks, and all Microsoft tools I can say. Okay, so this is just brief about me. And for another 45 days from now, I'm going to cover Power Apps along with the Power Automate. So how to create applications in Power Apps and how to create the flows to automate the process in Power Apps, sorry, using Power Automate. So Power Automate is basically there for automating the flows, right? So you are going to learn Power Platform, which contains multiple tools inside the Power Platform. So earlier there was only Power BI alone, along with the database and all, but now a few tools are combined together called as a Power Platform, like Power BI, Power Pages, Power Automate, Power Apps, then chatbots. So these are all together called as a Power Platform. Okay, so you are going to learn mainly focusing on the Power Apps and Power Automate. I'll show you end-to-end implementation of Power Applications and with few flows to create in the Microsoft Power Automate. Right? So all these will be learned in 45 days from now. Okay, you can calculate. So each class will be having theoretical part along with the practical sessions also. Like initially it will start with the all theoretical way only, because we are going to learn definitions for each and everything. So initially it will be only theoretical way. Then moving on, some around after 3 or 4 classes, you will start to implement practically in the application or in the platform. Okay, I'll show you how to do the how to develop the application and how to share the application and how to make it automate. Right, so these are all, whatever the topics I'm going to discuss in the class, I'll give you the assignment as well. So you need to practice them and get ready for the next class. Right, without practice, it's not going to work out. How many ever days you're trained in Power Apps or any tool you get trained, without practice, it's not going to help out you. Okay, fine. Before starting, let me ask you one question. Are you comfortable with Telugu or Telugu and English both? How many of you from Andhra, or how many of you know Telugu?
I know Telugu, Nasima.
Okay.
I know too Telugu.
Okay.
Even I know Telugu. Kushal.
Okay. Anybody there who don't know Telugu?
I don't know Telugu, ma'am.
Okay.
I also don't know Telugu, ma'am.
Okay. Kanika and Bhumika. Okay. Okay, fine. So are you guys comfortable if I explain in both the languages, Telugu and English both?
Ma'am, I also don't know Telugu, ma'am.
Seshir Gupta. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So would it be fine to manage with both the languages, or you want English alone?
Ma'am, you do 80% of English, so you can convert to Telugu, ma'am.
Okay.
If it is
so generally
possible.
what I follow is, what I'll explain in English first, Then whatever I explained you, again, will revise in Telugu. That's what I follow. But if you guys want only in English, that is also fine for me.
No, madam, what you said is exactly, it is good.
Okay, fine. Sure. That's
It in
that,
English, and after that, we will revise it in Telugu.
right. Okay. Just give me a second. Something. Just a second. Okay. So how many of you have idea about the Microsoft tools? Anyone? Just, I'm not asking you to tell in detail. Few lines, whatever you know.
MS Office,
Mm-hmm.
Excel, PowerPoint, and then so they have service kind of Teams.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
That's
right. So you have everybody, I mean, most of you have heard about the Excel, right? Excel, PowerPoint, Word, all these, all Microsoft tools, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you know PowerPoint or Excel, you can easily develop an application in Power Apps. It's as simple as it is. Why I'm saying that is, in general, whatever the applications you consider, like a Swiggy or Zomato, any application, it will contain multiple pages of code, right? A big list of code will be having behind that, correct? But coming to the Power Apps, without having any of those code, we can easily develop an application and share with the users to use from their end. That can be accessible to anyone. So using Power Apps, you can easily create an application just by drag and drop. So basically, the Power Apps is called as a low code, no code tool. That means low code or no code in the sense, very less code is involved to develop an application. Or you can, sometimes you can even don't need any of the codes also, because it's developed in such a way that user should be easily create the application. That's the reason it is mentioned as a low code, no code approach to develop the applications. Okay, so from now, whenever I mention the low code or no code, just think that you are using the Excel or PowerPoint and designing some user interface. Any design you can choose. Think in that way, and you're good. You can create an application very easily. Okay, so that is why we are here today, to develop an application without using any code or with using low code. Again, you can ask me, one time you're saying no code and sometimes you're saying low code. No code in the sense, you can do it just by drag and drop all the items into the canvas. But low code means just using few codes, like however you use in Excel, like sum of A column or sum of B column, or sum of A column plus B column. you have seen, right, how we write the calculations in Excel, just summations or subtractions or multiplications. Same way, using simple codes, we are going to develop application in that also in few scenarios. I'm not saying all the scenarios you need to use the code and create the application. You need just a simple code. You need to understand basic functions, and then you can create application very easily. So on my screen, you're seeing the Power Platform. What Power Platform called as? All these tools, Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents. So all these called as a Power Platform. Okay. Initially, as I mentioned, there is only Power BI alone. Power BI separate, it was separated, and Power Apps, it was separately called, and Power Automate also, it was separated. But now, all these together are called as a Power Platform because all are interlinked between each other. Means if you know Power BI, you can, I mean, just with Power BI, you cannot survive in the industry, right? You also need to know other tools as well, which are helpful while creating any projects or developing any projects, or especially in the companies, they are using the Microsoft tools very frequently. Not frequently, regularly. Their Office 365 or Microsoft account has become the routine for their life, because for every company, there will be mail access. So for the mail, they will only use the Outlook for the security purpose. They cannot go with this Gmail or any other Yahoo account or something, right? Office, officially, they will use the Microsoft Office account. So if you get one Office account, you can access all these tools with single account. That's why all these tools are replacing other tools nowadays. If you ask me in the real time, we are migrating many applications into Power Apps now. And we are migrating many flows into Power Automate, using Power Automate. Earlier, it was used with the Azure, but now Azure or Azure Data Factory. So these are all used for the automations. But now those are all also moved or migrated to Power Automate, because these are all can be developed with very less code. It's a user-friendly tools as well, developer-friendly tools. User-friendly means it should be easy to access for any of the users. Developer-friendly means it should be easy to understand to develop anything. That is called developer-friendly applications. So you can easily develop any application in Power Apps, and any flow you can automate in Power Automate. But forget about this Power Virtual Agents, because this Power Virtual Agents we are not looking at right now. We are only focusing on the Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate. Okay. So what are the key components in Microsoft Power Platform? Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. But very priority and important components are only Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI. And moreover, if you look at the current industry, you can see more openings in all these three tools. If you have experience with all these three tools, you'll be survived in industry for longer period. It's not that 1 or 2 years this tool will get end and you need to look for another tool. You need to learn another tool and for your career purpose. But if you learn these three tools in the current industry, you can survive for many years from now. These are very basics for to become a data science, or to become a data scientist, or to become a to learn machine learning or AI tools. These are all very basic things, right? Okay, we are going to develop the application. but how we are going to develop that, just drag and drop, using the drag and drop items into the canvas, we are going to develop. But where the data is storing, whatever the data we are going to provide in that application, where the data is going to store, that will be stored using these different data connectors and the Dataverse data sources. Using those connectors, we are going to connect to different or multiple data sources, and Dataverse as a biggest data base in which is provided by the Microsoft. Okay. So in simple, Microsoft Power Platform, మీరు Power BI, Power Apps and Power Automate నేర్చుకున్నారు అంటే, you can apply for Power Platform developer, data analyst, business analyst, BI developer, then consultant. So these are all the different roles you can apply for if you learn this Power Platform. Okay. For Power Apps and Power Automate, you don't even require database as well. I mean, you don't need to know any of the database languages, SQL or Oracle or MySQL. So these are all different database languages, right? So you don't even need to know if you are learning Power Apps and Power Automate. If you are learning Power BI, then yes, you need to know that any one database tool or any one database language. Okay, just a second. Sorry. Okay, now, what is this Power BI? Power BI is a analytics tool, or you can call it as a reporting tool as well. It's a business intelligence and a data visualization platform where you can create reports or dashboards. For the analysis purpose, it will be easy to see in the form of a graphs. Correct? Meeku data ichi oka 1 lakh records in a Excel sheet ichi meeku analyze cheyamante, can you do? Is it possible? Is it possible to analyze 1 lakh records in the Excel sheet? No, right? Okay. Consider you have a 1 lakh records with Excel sheet.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible. Your voice is not audible.
Is it for everyone?
Fluctuating.
No, I am audible only.
Uh,
I also not audible clearly.
Is it now or since beginning?
No, ma'am. When you start about Power BI definition, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
So from then and before also it was coming, ma'am. It was.
Is it fine
fluctuating.
now? Is it fine now? Hello?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. It is fine.
Okay. So what is Power BI?
Yeah, ma'am. It is good, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So what is Power BI? So Power BI is a business intelligence and data visualization platform where we are going to create a reports and dashboards to circulate with the end users, right? Why to use reporting? To make the user or the business user life easy. We are
Hello,
going to,
hello, ma'am.
hello,
Your voice is not audible, ma'am.
is it for everyone?
No.
Hello,
I
No,
can hear
ma'am.
you.
No,
You are
your
audible.
voice is not audible since 2 minutes.
No, I guess it's a problem is from your end because everybody is able to hear me.
Your voice is very good.
Okay, could you repeat that sentence, ma'am?
Yes, I will. Okay. So basically Power BI is a analytical tool
Thank you.
and you can, hello. Okay. So Power BI is a business
Yeah,
intelligence
ma'am.
and hello. The other guys, are you
Yeah, ma'am.
other people? Can you hear me?
It is audible.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
You are
ma'am.
audible to me. Your voice is clear and good.
Okay, thank you. I guess whoever it is mentioning, the problem is from your end only. Can you rejoin once? Okay, fine. Coming back. Power BI is a business intelligence tool where we are creating reports for analysis purpose. Why to analyze? So to make the business users' life easy, we are going to create a reports and share with them so that they can easily analyze the data. Analysis purpose is to take the business decisions, right? Correct? మనం డేటాని కానీ ఏదైనా కూడా ఒకటి అనలైజ్ చేస్తున్నాము అంటే we need some or the other decision we are going to take, right? In real life, we will analyze some people if we get to know them very new. I mean, if we some people, if we introduce them for the first time, we will start analyzing them. Correct? Why we analyze? Whether to continue the relationship with that person or not, right? That is also a type of a decision. That's the reason we analyze something. Here in our real time or in our real life example, it comes with a person, human being. But in business case, to analyze the business data, for example, you have sales data. Consider you are running some enterprise, or you're owning a store, some store, and you need to load I mean, you need to maintain the database, right? You need to maintain all the records, that what products are contained in your store, how many products are there, which product costs how much, when you bought that product, what is the expiry date to that project, I'm sorry, what is the expiry date to that product, and how many are sold on that particular day. Correct? So these data you need to maintain. And how you are going to analyze them? Why to analyze? For example, you have 10 products. Okay, and 10 products, each product is having 100 count in stock. And at the end of the week, when you check the data, you can see only 5 out of 10 products are sold 100%, and remaining 5 products are left the same as it is. How many ever count you ordered, same count is there at the end of the week also, right? You need to know that count as well. How many are left, how many are sold, right? Which is sold high, I mean, which product is selling in as a top priority, how many, right? So these data you need to know. Why? To analyze whether to continue that product in your store or not. If the product is selling fast and in higher quantity, that means that product is good, and you can order more items related to that product and store in the maintain a stock. But what if the products are not sold, and it's just remains same as it is from the comparative to the day you ordered? If you know that data, if you know that count, you can decide whether to stop that product ordering or order more number of quantity. కరెక్ట్? మీ దగ్గర మీరు ఇప్పుడు ఒక స్టోర్ మెయింటైన్ చేస్తున్నారు అంటే యూ నీడ్ టు నో ఏ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ మనం మెయింటైన్ చేయాలి, ఫస్ట్ స్టోర్లో ఏ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ పెట్టుకోవాలి, ఏ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ పెట్టుకోకూడదు. సో ఈ లిస్ట్ అంతా కూడా మనకు తెలియాలి. కరెక్ట్? ఈ లైక్ 10 ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ఆర్ 20 ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఫైన్, మీరు మాన్యువల్గా అనలైజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇన్ని ప్రోడక్ట్స్ సెల్ అయ్యాయి, ఇన్ని ప్రోడక్ట్స్ అలానే లెఫ్ట్ అయిపోయాయి అని చెప్పి. What if you have millions of data? You cannot do manually, right? Then you need to go with the Power BI. Power BI will summarize your data in the form of a charts or visuals and put in front of the business user. అంటే టాప్ 5 ప్రోడక్ట్స్ అన్నీ కూడా ఒక ఒక విజువల్లో చూపించవచ్చు. టాప్ 5 సెల్లింగ్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ అండ్ బాటమ్ 5 సెల్లింగ్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ అన్నీ కూడా ఇంకొక విజువల్లో పెట్టచ్చు. సో దట్ business user, that person can easily decide to stop the top or the bottom selling products, not to order anymore. అంతే కదండి. ఆ బాటమ్ ఉన్న ఈజీగా తెలిసిపోతుంది కదా. మనం రిపోర్ట్ చూడంగానే ఇట్ విల్ బి ఈజీ టు ఐడెంటిఫై. ఓకే, దీస్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ అన్నీ కూడా సెల్ అవ్వట్లేదు, చాలా తక్కువగా సెల్ అవుతున్నాయి. సో మనం ఈ స్టాక్ ఇంకా నుంచి మెయింటైన్ చేయకూడదు అని చెప్పి ఒక డెసిషన్ తీసుకుంటారు, రైట్? దాట్స్ ద రీజన్ వి గో విత్ ద పవర్ బిఐ రిపోర్ట్స్. అదే సేమ్ మిలియన్స్ ఆఫ్ డేటా మీకు ఎక్సెల్లో ఇచ్చి అనలైజ్ చేయమంటే చేయగలరా? నాట్ పాసిబుల్, రైట్? ఈచ్ అండ్ ఇండివిజువల్ రికార్డ్ని నోట్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళాలి. ఈచ్ డే హండ్రెడ్స్ ఆఫ్ రికార్డ్స్, హండ్రెడ్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ సెల్ అవ్వచ్చు, హండ్రెడ్స్ ఆఫ్ కస్టమర్స్ విజిట్ చేయొచ్చు. సో ఈ డేటా అంతా కూడా యూ కెనాట్ అనలైజ్ విత్ ఎక్సెల్. సో ఇఫ్ యూ గో విత్ ద పవర్ బిఐ ఇట్ విల్ బీ ఈజీ టు అనలైజ్. అండ్ నౌ మీరు పవర్ బిఐలో రిపోర్ట్స్ జనరేట్ చేశారు. యూ హ్యావ్ జనరేటెడ్ ద రిపోర్ట్స్ ఇన్ పవర్ బిఐ అండ్ the business user started using it, right? Now the business user, every time the user cannot log into the Power BI and analyze the data. So మీరు ఇప్పుడు Power BI, whatever the report you are generated, you have to publish that somewhere in the Power BI, correct? Without saving whatever the file you created, either Excel, Word or PowerPoint. If you save only, it will remains the same. The data will get stored. You created everything, and if you close the file without saving, will it store the data? Will it store the content whatever you created? Yes or no? No. Because you haven't saved the file. It's waste of your time, correct? So that's why whatever the reports we generate, we will save it. That wherever we are saving is called a Power BI server. So whatever we are developing will be in the Power BI desktop, and wherever you are saving is a Power BI server. Okay, consider server is a folder. Miru once you create the application, once you create the PowerPoint file, you're going to save it in some place, either in your desktop, on your desktop, or in some folder, right? So that will be called as a server in our case in Power BI. Server is like a folder itself, but it's a cloud folder, like OneDrive. Sorry?
Storage space.
Yes. Storage space, it's a unlimited. It's based on the capacity you're using. Like there are licenses on top of this Power BI also. So which depends on the which license you are using, you'll get the storage capacity. That we will discuss in our next classes. But basic things we need to know before that. So the server is nothing but a cloud storage area where you are going to save your reports. From there, user can access, right? But all the users, all the business users, the official people, they cannot log into the Power BI and open the report and start analyzing the data. They will not do it in regular basis. That's why what we do is we will automate a flow using the Power Automate. We are going to automate a flow in such a way that the user don't need to log into the Power BI. They can open the, however we open the PowerPoint report, the same way they can open the PowerPoint file and start analyzing the data wherever they are. They can open in the mobile, they can open the PowerPoint file while traveling or while sleeping, I mean before going to sleep, or while having dinner. Whenever they find time, they just open the file and look at the data and take the business decisions. How we do it is using the Power Automate flows. Pointing to the Power BI file, converting it into the PowerPoint file, and converting is nothing but we are exporting that into PowerPoint file. And whatever the file we are converted, that will be emailed to the customer. This happens in a very regular basis. Consider. So we need every time we need to share that exported file to the user, right? Instead of doing it manually, using Power Automate, we can create a flow in such a way that the exported report will be emailed to the customer in a scheduled basis, whether it is monthly once or weekly once or quarterly once or yearly once. As per our scheduled time, the Power Automate flow will run and the email will be received by the user along with the PowerPoint file attached to that, so that it will be easy for them to access, right? So these are the uses of the Power BI and Power Automate. I'll tell you once again. So Power BI basically analysis kosam chestam, reports analyze cheyadam kosam or data analyze cheyadam kosam reports generate chesi Power BI server ane oka cloud storage area lo reports anni kuda save chestam or store chestam. వీటిని మనం ఎవ్రీ మంత్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు సర్క్యులేట్ టు ద బిజినెస్ యూజర్, మీరు ఎవ్రీ మంత్ ఒక యూజర్కి సెండ్ చేయాలి అంటే దట్స్ ఎ మాన్యువల్ ప్రాసెస్. ఎవ్రీ టైం మీరు రిపోర్ట్ని ఓపెన్ చేయాలి, ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేయాలి, దెన్ ఈ రిపోర్ట్ని యూజర్కి సెండ్ చేయాలి. దట్స్ అ కంప్లీట్ మాన్యువల్ ప్రాసెస్. టు అవాయిడ్ దట్, అంటే ఆ మాన్యువల్ ప్రాసెస్ని రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ చేయడం కోసం పవర్ ఆటోమేట్ ఫ్లోని క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. పవర్ ఆటోమేట్ ఫ్లోలో ఏం చేస్తామంటే పవర్ బిఐ రిపోర్ట్ని పాయింట్ చేస్తాం. ఫస్ట్ పవర్ ఆటోమేట్లో ఈ రిపోర్ట్ని తీసుకొని వచ్చి పవర్ పాయింట్లోకి ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేయి. యాక్షన్స్ చెప్తున్నాం మనం, అంటే మనం పవర్ ఆటోమేట్కి వాట్ వి కాల్ యాక్షన్స్ లైక్ టు పర్ఫార్మ్ or to do items అని చెప్పొచ్చు. వాట్ ఎవర్ ద ఐటమ్స్ ద పవర్ ఆటోమేట్ హ్యాస్ టు ఫాలో ఆర్ ద ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ మనం గైడ్ చేస్తున్నాం. పవర్ బిఐ రిపోర్ట్ని తీసుకో, అక్కడ నుంచి పవర్ ఆటోమేట్లోకి ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేయి, ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేసిన ఫైల్ని ఈమెయిల్ ద్వారా యూజర్కి సెండ్ చేయి. ఇది మనము పవర్ ఆటోమేట్కి ఇస్తున్న ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్. యాజ్ పర్ అవర్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ మనం ఎప్పుడు అయితే ఫైల్ని సెండ్ చేయమని చెప్తాము, లైక్ మంత్లీ, ఎవ్రీ మంత్ మనము డేటా షేర్ చేయాలి అంటే ఎవ్రీ మంత్ పంపిస్తాం. లేదు వీక్లీ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఉంటుంది, వీక్లీ పంపిస్తాం. లేదు డైలీ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ కూడా ఉంటుంది సమ్ కేసెస్. సో అలాంటి కేసెస్లో పవర్ ఆటోమేట్ని యూస్ చేసి ఒక ఫ్లోన్ స్కెడ్యూల్ చేసేసి వదిలేస్తాం. ఇంకా మనం దాన్ని చెక్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఉండదు. ఒకవేళ ఇన్ కేస్ ఏదైనా ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చి అది ఫెయిల్ అయింది అనుకోండి, ఇఫ్ ఫర్ ఎనీ రీజన్ ద పవర్ ఆటోమేట్ ఫ్లో గెట్స్ ఫెయిల్డ్, that will be informed to the admin or the developer, whoever created that flow. You will get notified that this flow got failed. Then you can go and revisit the flow and run it again. That's a different case. But once the flow defined need not to be intervened by the manual effort. That's the reason we have Power Automate here. Okay, just quick thing here. Yeah. Now this was about what we were discussed till now is about Power Automate and Power BI. So using Power BI, we can create a visualizations and create real-time dashboards, and we can even customize the reports with a look and feel, like a color, background color changing, or borders, providing borders. Some customization we can do for the reports, and we can save it into the service. This is what the fourth step is, what I was talking about, the cloud storage. Publish to the Power BI service. Service is a cloud storage here, and then share the report. That's what Power BI does. Using Power Automate, we are going to create a flows and distribute with the end users. Right now, what is Power Apps? Power Apps is a application development tool where we are going to design the applications without any what we call that, without any code or using low code. So we follow low code or no code approach to create the Power Apps applications. Okay, that is basically the low code no code application development platform. We call it as a low code no code application development platform, right? Why we go with the Power Apps only? Because in general, just think about some of the applications you are using regularly. Any for example, Amazon you'll be using very regular basis, right, to order some products from online. Backend, you know only on the front end basis, like how to order, how to view the items and all. But what about the backend? There is a big, complex, time consumed and costly efforts behind that application, behind the Amazon. Why I mentioned complex, time consumed and costly is complex because there is a lot of code involved in that. First point. Next is time consumed because to write the single page code or 10 lines of code only, nowadays people are taking 1 week of time, right? Think of 100 pages of code, how many days it will take? It consumes a lot of time, right? That's why it is a time consumed process. Then costly because to write that much amount of code and to design that big application, we need many developers. Mostly they have involved around 15 to 20 developers, I guess. So everybody should be paid, right? So 10 developers or 20 developers, they have to be paid every month until, if it is a contract basis, until the application get finished, they have to be paid every month, which is costly. The process is itself costly. But when it comes to the Power Apps, 1 or 2 persons can easily develop an application and it's not even time consumed. Very simple way you can create the application and in a very attractive way and interactive way also. It's not complex because we are not writing pages of code here. That's why Power Apps is not a complex, not even time consumed and not even costly. Using Power Apps, it's very simple for both beginners and professional developers to develop any application. It even also reduces the workload. Sorry?
I have a small doubt.
Yeah, please. చెప్పండి.
Hello.
చెప్పండి వినిపిస్తుంది, చెప్పండి.
You said that actually beyond developers, which Power Apps are very much useful to develop program like that yourself.
Sorry, please come again. I didn't understand correctly.
Hello.
చెప్పండి.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Yeah, ma'am. You said that beyond developers, these Power Apps were very useful to develop programs. Is it right?
It's not about beyond developers. Any developer, any user can develop the Power Apps application. It's that simple and that easy.
No, my doubt is that means without developer, this Power Apps can be able to do the program, or before Power Apps, the developer can develop the program, then the Power App work will
Okay. I got your question. So when we are developing the application, let's say you want to develop some application to track your expenses.
Okay.
Daily expenses you wanted to track. So for that, what you need to do is you need to design some GUI, like what and all should be there in that application. Your name, the date of the expense spent, cost of that expenses you spent, and what is that category belongs to, on what you spend that money. So these are all the items you need to be involved in that application.
Okay.
Right. So for this, whatever I said now, there is no code involved in that. Just just a drag and drop boxes, and which is connected to the data source, because whatever the data you enter, that has to be stored somewhere, right? That's why it's just connected to the data source, and you have used a drag and drop items into the page. Consider the white page. You are having a white page. In that, you need to put some input, like your name. One box will be given to the name, and another box will be given to the category which you spent, and another box will be given to the date when you spent, and another box will be the amount you spent, right? So for these and all, you are using the drag and drop items and connecting to the data source.
Okay.
But the customizations you can do in n number of ways. Customizations in the sense, the look and feel effective, like color changes, or using background images. That way you can do any customizations to the applications. But there also you don't need any code. It's just applying or browsing to upload some background image to that particular page and save it. It will automatically reflected onto your application. That simple the Power Apps application is to develop. So this
I think it is superior to, like, it is a superior work than the developer what they have done the work, like, similar to me.
Superior than the developer?
No. Actually, what I said, by using superior means by using Power Apps, so without the coding and everything, that we can do the work like you have said. So can I say that it is superior app as compared to developer like that? Like they have to code everything, they have done the coding and everything.
Okay. Yes. In that way, yes. So whatever the actions you do, the backend itself, it will convert. That means the application itself coded in the backend. But the developer need not to do anything there. Yeah. So that's why companies are shifting to Power Apps now. Even a lot more companies are creating their own applications using Power Apps. In my case itself, we have generated few applications for our internal use. For example, since it's a hybrid model in the working in office, we have created an application to book the seats. Whoever employee going to the office, they can book their seat. Like few will be having the fixed seats, right? They don't want to shift from that place to another place.
Yeah.
So if they use the application and book their own seat, it will be theirs until they leave the office. So that's a real time use case, I can say. And another application is to store the building details. Like if a company is sponsoring for constructions of the schools or any hospitals or anything, they can store the details of that construction, what they are going to construct or which project they are going to take up, who are all involved in that project, what are the budget allocated to that project, how many days it's going to take. So these details are stored using this application. Okay. Yeah. So this is what about Power Apps is. So now why we are going to learn Power Apps? Because it's a huge demand in IT industry in current situation. And also it's a easy for business users or any non-IT employees can build their own applications. So now we are mainly focusing on the people who are all non-IT background also, because they also have to survive, right? The computer science students can survive anyways using the code or anything, they can survive. But what about the other non-computer background students? So this is main relevant tool to learn for them. This can be learned by anyone, any non-IT or any non-technical or any non-computer science background. Power Apps, Power BI, Power Automate. So these tools are designed in such a way that it's a self-service tools that they can do by themselves. They don't need any other developer. If you are owning some small scale industry, you don't need to go to someone. You don't need to recruit some other developer to do all these things for your company. You can only do by yourself because it's a self-service tools. And it takes very less time to develop also. That's why people are migrating from other applications to Power Apps or Power BI or any Power Platform tools basically. Okay, so how we are going to design the application is using the drag and drop interface. There will be Power Apps homepage and we can start developing a application there itself by clicking on the or selecting the new application, right? It's just complete on the depends on the drag and drop interface itself. And we are going to integrate multiple sources of data to store or to create visuals. We are going to integrate with multiple sources using the connectors. And we can even customize the applications in n number of ways using the Power Apps. Okay, so that's how we do the applications in Power Apps, and the same can be published and circulated to the users, right? Any doubts till now? So this is what we can discuss for today. These are just basics about what we are going to do in this 45 days. Just focusing on the Power Automate and Power Apps alone. Once the 45 days got completed, I will give you a end-to-end implementation of the project. You have to perform by your own. If you stuck anywhere, then I will pitch in and solve that or clarify that issues, but you have to do by your own. How you can do it is, it again depends on your practice levels. If you practice hard, you can do it easily. If you don't practice or if you don't prepare, then it's very difficult to, get the job also, right? Okay. So I think.
Can I have one doubt? Can I?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, actually, what I've said is regarding Power BI, Power Automation, everything. So my doubt is that if non-IT background person can completely it is good for non-IT background students. You have told that. So
Yes,
for
of course.
IT background students also, like it will be helpful for them to simultaneously help in both in these cases, or only for non-IT only?
No. It's not that meant for non-IT alone. It is for both non-IT and IT. Both. Even I am also from the IT background itself. I did my MTech in computer science.
Yeah.
So it's not that only non-IT people or non-computer science people should come into this, into these tools. These are very easy tools. Whoever wants to learn, they can jump into these tools. They can learn.
Okay.
But why I mentioned that is there is no prerequisite for these tools. For .NET or Java or C#, Python, for these there is a prerequisite to know some other languages like a C or C++. If you want to learn Java, you need to know C or C++. Right? That's why I said it's easy for any user, I can say. Anyone, they can learn this Power Platform tools.
So if a person who learns Power BI like Power Apps, they can shift to develop, they can shift to developing side, or it is a separate, or that is a separate wings, like just to know only.
Yeah, I understand. This is basically the developer role. I have been 9 years now into this industry.
Yeah.
till 7 years, I have worked as a developer itself.
Okay.
So few companies call it as a consultant and few companies call it as a developer. After 7 years only, I turned as a lead. But then the developer role will not change.
Okay.
I need to involve in the development, but
Okay.
just the designation will change, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And even few companies call it as an analyst also. If you know Power BI and Power Automate, if you apply for roles, you can go for the business analyst or data analyst roles as well.
Okay. Okay. Why? Because why I asked this question means actually the person who are learning this Power BI and everything, so they can simultaneously, if they have time, they can learn like languages, or it is no need to learn like that, just to know that. Okay.
Okay, okay. It's up to them if they wanted to upgrade themselves. Like, see, this IT industry is only like a upgradation every time. We need to improve our skills for sure. We cannot stick to one or two tools or one or two languages and survive in the industry. It's like we need to upgrade, but to upgrade also, these are all very basic tools. If you know these things in future, if you learn any ETL tool or anything like that, you can go for the data engineer role.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, madam, this is Nasima here.
Hi, Nasimha.
Actually, I have worked as a 7.6 years of experience in middleware background.
Okay.
Now I jumped into the Power BI actually. And now insurance they will go to for me.
Sorry, Nasimha.
Oh, sorry to
Lots
say
of
you. Your
disturbances
voice
there.
is
I cannot.
disturbance is coming.
Yeah, I cannot able to hear you properly.
No, I am telling that I have worked for 7.6 years in middleware administrator role.
Okay.
Now I am looking for the jump into the Power BI tool. This is totally AI related course, right?
Power BI you're talking about?
Yeah. This is Power Automate and Power Apps and Power BI.
It's not completely AI, but yes, there is a few things involved with AI.
Okay.
Yes, being a 7.6 years of real-time experience in some other tools or some other technologies, you can happily shift to, I mean, you can happily change the domain.
Yeah.
That
Now
is
I am
possible.
looking for. Actually, I work as administrator only.
Okay.
So
That's
if
okay.
one shift to this, if you shift to this tool, they will give for same role, admin role or developer role.
No. It won't be the admin. The admin role is different. There are
Okay.
Power BI admin, Power Apps admin, Power Platform admin. That is a different case again. If you want to come into the developer, yes, you can come. You can change as a developer itself. But developer, I mean, మీకు డెవలపర్ అంటే ఓన్లీ మీ టైటిల్లో ఆర్ రోల్లో డెవలపర్ ఉంటేనే డెవలపర్ అనుకోకండి ఎప్పుడు. అనలిస్ట్ కూడా డెవలపరే. డేటా అనలిస్ట్ డెవలపరే, బిజినెస్ అనలిస్ట్ డెవలపరే, కన్సల్టెంట్ కూడా డెవలపరే. బట్ ఓన్లీ చేంజ్ ఇస్ కొన్ని కంపెనీస్లో ఒక్కొక్క డిజిగ్నేషన్తో పిలుస్తారు. బట్ యూ నీడ్ టు నో ద job description first. When you are applying, if that comes under any of the job description comes under the admin, you can happily reject it. When it says you need to develop the reports, you need to have the discussion with the stakeholders, one-to-one relationship with the stakeholders or the customers, and you need to create a Power Automate flows, then that is a developer role.
So means like we need to discuss with users also, right? You are telling.
Yes, to get the requirements, specific requirements, what they are looking for. Those and all we need to have the discussion with stakeholders.
Okay. This is my note.
Okay. And those applying to the job roles and, changing your resumes. These we can discuss offline. You can have a contact with the institute. They will help you out. There is a team who can look for the job opportunities and suggest you which one to apply, how to change the resume, which projects to keep. So these and all can be done by the institute. You don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
So Neil, somebody have texted anything related to dynamic CRM. Yes, this is completely related to the CRM itself. Power Apps is nothing but a CRM tool. And when you generate a CRM application using the Power Apps, that can be connected to the Power BI and generate the
రేపు బుడ్ రైస్ స్టాఫ్ ఉందా పెట్టాడు లిస్ట్
కూర్చునే జంటలు అంతా కూర్చోవచ్చు అయితే మీకు పిల్లాడితో నీకు కష్టం లిస్ట్గా ఉండాలంటే
9వ తారీఖు అక్షరాభ్యాసం చేయాలని కూర్చోండి కరెక్ట్ గా ఏడా
ఒకసారి
Please put on mute.
ఉంటే మరి
sorry, there is a network issue. So yeah, I was telling that once you complete the course, once you are confident enough to apply the jobs, the institute people or institute team can help you out to which roles you need to apply, to which job postings you need to apply, and how to modify your resume, how to create the Naukri accounts, how to create the LinkedIn profiles. So these all things will be taken care. You don't need to worry about that. But first you have to focus on the classes, on the practice, how you need to do, how you have to improve yourself. So these things you need to focus on. Okay. Anyone, any other questions?
Ma'am, I have small doubt.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, we are MBA finance student.
Okay.
So I know about reporting, ma'am. So how to do reporting, just a basics.
Okay.
So it will be good in Power BI application, ma'am. So
Yes.
when we want to apply job, so
Yes,
MBA
yes.
students.
You can easily
also-
apply.
Okay, ma'am.
You can, no one will question you, because for the MBA students, you can change your resume as a, you have done the reportings for the finance team itself. And you have done the application for the finance team, because this Power Apps is a, suggested application platform for the finance users alone. They use more frequently than any other teams, along with the HR also, HR operations or HR talent acquisition team, finance team. These people will be using the Power Apps applications very frequently. So you don't need to worry about that also.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Which year you are passed out? Sorry.
Ma'am, this year itself, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine. It's okay. You can discuss with the institute.
Okay, sure.
Okay, fine. Right. Anyone? Any other questions, please? Okay, so are you all ready to start our session by tomorrow? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Very nice. So the thing is, you need to be active in the class. Okay, I'll be keep on asking some questions, whatever we are discussing only. I'll not ask apart from any other undiscussed topics. So please be active, right? And how much ever possible, come up with the questions. get clarifications immediately, and then move to the next topic. Okay, fine. Let's meet in tomorrow's class, and we will start with the introductions and everything. Okay, fine. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining, and welcome to the class.
Sure, ma'am. The way you have explained us, the demo class is very good.
Sorry, please come again. I didn't get you.
The way you have explained the demo class is very good, and thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. It's really happy to hear that. Yeah, we'll discuss in detail in our next classes. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello.
Recordings will be sharing in Teams.
Yes. Recordings will be shared to your drive. You'll get an email. You will have to share your email IDs with the institute. The admin will share you the recordings on time. Okay. Thank you everyone. Good night.